Hiya, pal.
Deck the halls with Marv and Harry.
Yes!
Make their Christmas not so merry. Give them bricks and give them riches. One more Christmas in the trenches. Toss some paint cans down to greet them. Send the toolbox down to meet them. Serve the nails for Christmas dinner. Kevin is declared the winner.
May I do the thinking, please?
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
You wearing aftershave?
That's kerosene.
Now why would anybody soak a rope in kerosene?
Merry Christmas.
Hello, I'm Katie, and welcome back to Retromade, your pop culture rewind. We're heading back to 1992 today, a year of slapstick traps, Talkboys, and turtle doves, to revisit Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. It's bigger, louder, and somehow even more chaotic than the original, set against the perfect early 90s backdrop of a neon windbreaker, Crystal Pepsi, and boy bands just starting to form. Let's see if Kevin's second round of mayhem still holds up, or if the sequel should have been left at the Plaza. I'm so excited to have a new guest to Retromade. This is our third try. We finally got him on. We have from the Director's Chair Network, also All Apologies podcast, Andy. Tell us about you and your show, Andy.
Hi, Katie. Glad we finally got to do this. All Apologies Podcast is a frequent guest host on Who Are These Podcasts, which is a far bigger show than my show. And that is a roast-style comedy show of ridiculous podcasts making fools of themselves on the internet. And I've spun that off into the same format, only targeting apology tours from celebrities. We just covered Alec Baldwin, and we like to look at a lot of Haley Joel Osment getting drunk at a ski lodge and arrested in a parking lot dash cam type of footage. So
Love it.
Those are the type of things that we like to cover on All Apologies. But I'm also doing Edgar Wright's films for the Director's Chair Network. So we've done Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and Scott Pilgrim, and I did Edgar Wright's independent film Fistful of Fingers with Ryan, who, of course, you know. So that's what I'm up to, and you can find all that at allapologiespodcast.com.
As I was getting ready this morning, I listened to the Scott Pilgrim episode. Nicely done.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it's my favorite one, obviously. Well, I'm a bass player that grew up in the 80s with 8-bit Nintendo, so I'm going to be a fan of Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Awesome. Well, this is 92. So what we do here on Retromade, Andy, is we set the stage, go back in time to a simpler time, shall we say. So today we're going back to 1992. So we are going to open the time capsule from 1992. We have a wheel to spin. I will spin on your behalf. We'll come to a category. Cool. And I will ask you some trivia questions. We did cover 1992 already with the Beethoven episode. I don't know if you're aware that John Hughes wrote Beethoven.
No, I didn't.
He did.
And I didn't watch it, so I won't. No spoilers. So I didn't see that one yet.
That wasn't one that you as a kid watched with the big fluffy dog?
I don't know why. And that one missed me. Maybe I was a little too old for something that appeared to be a children's movie. Is that
definitely a children's?
Charles Grodin in that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also I'm not a fan of Charles Grodin.
Okay.
So
There you go. So listeners, go back and check out some more trivia from 1992 and Beethoven in that episode. I'm going to spin for you, see what we come to. I make them pretty easy. Okay, Boombox Bangers.
Great.
These are the top 5 songs on the Billboard charts for the entire year of 1992. Okay? I make them a little too easy, But we have four Philadelphia men that were the kings of R&B slow jams. That might
Boys to Men.
Yes, and what's the song? 92, number one.
Slow Jam, End of the Road.
Yes, very good,
Okay.
very good. The number two song celebrated curvy women everywhere with a very unforgettable opening line. Do I need to say the opening line?
Baby Got Back or Mix a Lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
oh my God,
big
Becky.
butts, and I cannot lie. Yeah.
So that, yeah.
Well, actually, there's two kind of opening lines that they could be referring to. You're correct. And did you say who the singer was?
Sir Mix a Lot.
Okay. No cheating here. I remember being in like grade school, really liking this group, performed by two backwards clothes wearing teens. This energetic rap hit told you exactly what to do twice in its title.
Yeah. Jump by Chris Cross.
Very good. Were you a fan?
I never wore my clothing backwards, I'll say that. But I think I was a fan of Chris Cross. As a child, watching children become famous rappers was fun.
They're like 12.
Yeah.
Daddy Mac and Mac Daddy. Yeah.
Right.
The number 4 song is an elegant ballad by a former Miss America contestant. Topped the charts as she sang about life's surprises, reminding us that sometimes the sun goes around the moon.
Yeah. Vanessa Williams, Save the Best for Last.
Very good. All right, the last one. You're on a roll. This R&B trio from Atlanta harmonized their way through a 92 hit that repeated its title 3 times, just like the group's name nearly does.
That's a tough one. Atlanta trio.
Women.
I mean, I want to say Tony, but I don't know the song.
It's not Tony, but it's harmonized their way through 92. I think that was kind of a miss, that last, similar to the name. It
was off put. That's a misdirect.
Mm-hmm. It is a misdirect. It's letters. The group's name is Letters.
You got me.
No, really?
SWV?
Close.
Oh.
That was a TLC.
TLC was back then?
Yeah, with that first album, TLC, and the song, it's Baby, Baby, Baby. Baby, baby, baby,
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, you do.
I'm okay with not knowing that one.
Okay.
I'm not perfect, everyone. That's what we're trying to say. Neither was Criss Cross when they did that slam with Michael Jackson. That was
terrible. All right, we're going to spin again. Let's get another category for you.
Yeah.
Totally Tasty. And
explain this one to me.
This is snacks, foods, drinks, stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay.
92.
92. All right. They're so easy. This prepackaged meals targeted at kids became incredibly popular in 92, offered a combination of crackers, deli meats, cheese, and sometimes sweets in a convenient portable package. What was it?
What, the Lunchables.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work in a supermarket dairy cooler where they stocked Lunchables, and sometimes they would accidentally get slashed with a box cutter, and they would have to have a snack while I was working in the cooler.
Oh my God, I would be the worst employee at a place where there was food that I liked because I would accidentally ruin things a lot.
Yeah. But the meat that comes in the Lunchables is disgusting. I don't know how that passes FDA.
Well, we don't have the strongest of, I'll just leave that there. America doesn't have the strongest regulations. But I remember as a kid, because we could not bring our lunch to school. I went to Catholic school. We had to eat at the cafeteria. And every once in a blue moon, we'd have a day where it was a big deal. You could bring your lunch. And I always wanted to bring Lunchables. And my mom's like, no, that's so dumb. There's 4 things. It's not a good lunch.
I remember when this is going even further back, but I also went to Catholic school, and there was certain days of the month where you could opt to have Happy Meals from McDonald's shipped into the like kindergarten or first grade. It was a big deal to get it, and it was an even bigger deal to not get it, which I have a twin brother and young parents, so oftentimes we didn't have money for McDonald's lunch at school. But yeah, that was a bit when you talk about regulations and things that shouldn't be sent to children in schools. Getting McDonald's shipped to your school was maybe fun, but ill-conceived.
Also, was there DoorDash at this time? How's this not? I mean, somebody
no,
just
I was
volunteered to go pick a bunch of happy
Yeah, it was probably some handshake deal that they had with the church and McDonald's.
The church. Love it. Okay, let's see. I mean, there was a lot of junk food from this time that was marketed towards kids, speaking of which, and I loved it all. I loved this next one. Totino's. This thing, Totino's blank, became widely popular as a convenient snack. Quick to prepare, small, bite-sized pizza snacks. Staple for school-age kids and busy families.
Yeah, sleepover food.
What was
Slumber
it?
party food.
What was the name of it?
Pizza rolls,
Pizza
right?
rolls, yes, pizza rolls.
Yeah.
God, I loved pizza rolls.
Yeah, we didn't have those so much in my house. I remember trying them though and thinking that they were pretty disgusting. Remember, what is it called? The gum that had the liquid on the inside?
Oh, like
It
gushers.
was like Chuli.
Oh,
Yeah, well, it was like gushers, yeah. And basically a Totino's pizza roll was just like hot pizza flavored cat food gushing into your mouth.
Cat food.
It sucked. I got her. She's dying, everyone.
I am dying. No, I sound a little off. I have a cold. I'm sorry, everyone. So I'm hacking up along when I mute. This next one, I got to say, I adored them. And my parents were like, they're so fake tasting. How do you like these? But Chips Ahoy introduced a new version of their iconic chocolate chip cookies, and they became a huge hit. So the regular Chips Ahoy has a blue bag. These had a different texture than the original crispier version.
Yeah.
What was this new version? What color bag was it in?
Okay. Because I immediately run to and think of Soft Batch, which I think is a different brand.
It's a different brand, but you're on the exact right lines.
Yeah, if it's Chips Ahoy, it's like the red, chunky, like soft Batch, chunky Chips Ahoy.
Yeah,
what
it's
it is?
chewy Chips Ahoy is what it was.
Yeah, okay.
And it was in a red bag, and they did taste like plastic a little bit. Like you could taste the chemicals or whatever that was in them. But I loved them because I liked that they were soft. I don't know. Red bag Chips Ahoy. Anyone else?
Well, when you're a kid, I feel like sugar is just a dopamine spike straight to your brain. You don't even realize that it tastes like chemicals until your palate matures as an adult. Because I have the same opinion of Oreos, which when I was a burnout, I would eat a whole sleeve of Oreos and watch The Simpsons and just be the happiest stoner in town. But now when I eat Oreos, it tastes nothing but like chemicals to me. And so I can see how, and I remember, like I said, I also used to deliver or pick up recycling, adjacent to a garbage van, and I would just eat cake and cookies for breakfast and lunch and just run it off. And I would eat Soft Batch cookies like all day, every day. And the very thought of eating one now is repelling. I don't want that many single way.
No, it is kind of wild. I mean, what's kind of sad is that some people's tastes don't mature. Some children grow up eating junk food and grow up into adults only wanting that. It's sad. Thankfully, I eat vegetables. I don't,
Lose their teeth and get diabetes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a couple that are similar. Let's see. Were these both 92? Now I'm kind of questioning. There were two Pepsi versions that seemed very similar. Okay, we have one that is notorious for being a marketing failure. Despite having a futuristic appeal, it was discontinued after just a year. And it's just now considered a curiosity in pop culture 90s.
This was 92? Man, I thought that was older.
What was
this has to be Crystal Pepsi, right? Or
Well, yeah. Okay. So is that the same thing as Pepsi Clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think so.
Pure.
It has to be.
Yeah, it's crystal clear Pepsi, marketed as a pure and healthier alternative to regular Pepsi, but it did not gain traction. But as with a lot of things, have you noticed like clearly Canadian is back, like some of those throwback brands? It has a resurgence in recent years thanks to nostalgia for 90s products.
Yeah, I do remember a couple of years ago they reintroduced it just for fun. But that's amazing that they would try and market it as something healthy because they took the doo-doo brown additive that makes it Coca-Cola color out and suddenly it's a health food. That's ridiculous.
One less chemical to
Yeah.
make it. Actually, maybe there's probably an extra chemical to make it clear somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. It's really harder to make it clear because Coke syrup the cocoa bean is brown, for God's sake.
Good point. Yeah. Well, that was our little flashback time capsule from 1992. You did well, Andy.
Almost perfect. Not
Yes.
a TLC fan, and I'll admit that.
Oh, okay. See, I was like, how would you not get that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. All right. So this season on Retromade, we're all about John Hughes. Do you have anything to share? I don't know if you're a fan, if you are familiar with John Hughes. What's your history, thoughts on John Hughes?
Well, yeah, John Hughes is definitely an informative artist, creator of the 80s. Everybody that grew up then would be aware of it. I'm partial to Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I feel like that spoke to me as a child that hated being in school. So getting out of it in the most clever ways was delightful for me. And then all of the Molly Ringwald era stuff is memorable and debatable. I know Christian Blatt from the Blatt cast and many movie discussion shows has brought up the fact that The Breakfast Club isn't good, and I disagree. So I feel like The Breakfast Club is a movie for teenagers that are disgruntled, angsty teens. If you're not an angsty teen, then The Breakfast Club is not for you. If you're looking at The Breakfast Club as a grown man, sure, you're not going to think it's good. But if you're looking at it from an Ali Sheedy type of personality, you're going to love it. So it's for kids. It's a kid's movie for kids, and it still holds up. And I was John Venter in high school, so I'll defend that movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will go hard defending Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club is, I think, Hughes' best work.
Well, right. It's gonna be hard to do a series about John Hughes and not point to The Breakfast Club is probably one of the most popular ones.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, he's had misses, and there are critiques are to be had with some of his movies from that time. But
Sure.
yes, go on.
but when we first discussed doing this, I wanted to pick something obscure. I'm sure everybody wanted to do the big guns at the beginning, but we talked about doing National Lampoon's Class Reunion, and it's unfindable. So we pivoted to Dutch, which is unfindable. That was disappointing because I do remember Dutch as a kid, and I loved Ed O'Neill on Married with Children. So, and then you have a young Ethan Embry in that one. And I remembered the movie. I remembered as a younger person being disappointed that not realizing that an actor could play different traits of a character, and watching Dutch and going, this isn't Al Bundy. This is not funny because it's not Al Bundy. It's Ed O'Neill doing a different thing. But again, you can't do it because it doesn't exist on the internet right now. So everybody go buy physical media because these movies that you want to talk about are not findable on Netflix. But Dutch also stinks. As I was preparing to do that show and I was watching every clip on YouTube, I was realizing that John Hughes loves class warfare. And instead of racial diversity, let's say everyone's white, but the
Uh-huh.
poor kids and the rich
Yeah.
kids don't get along in
Yeah.
almost every John Hughes.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Well, in doing this, I was less harsh on Dutch because I had probably just come off from some others.
other terrible crap.
I still have several movies to do, and there's some really good ones in there. But what I'm seeing very much is he has a formula and he doesn't sway from it at all, ever. And he just kind of regurgitates stuff.
I'm seeing that with Edgar Wright too. There's a lot of beats and themes that I think it's fair to say that when you are a creator and you find something that works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and just keep putting something out there that was successful, and then you try and do that to a varying degree of success. So I guess I can understand that, but are you kind of saving your opinion for when you're done about what you think the best one is?
Of John Hughes?
Or, yeah.
Well, I don't think it will change, and I haven't really gone through in my head all of them, but it's got to be Breakfast Club.
Really? Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles John Hughes?
Yes.
I think that might be at the top of my list with Ferris Bueller.
Oh,
And
interesting. Okay.
Ferris Bueller, Planes, Trains, Breakfast Club is up there. And then there's a lot of things on this list that I didn't even realize were
I
John
know.
Hughes related.
Same.
Just writing, not just directing, but also writing. So yeah, it was interesting to go through the catalog just on paper anyway.
The John Candy ones, so he had the teen ones where, there's a period of time where he really focused on that teen angst.
I think that's he's most synonymous with that, right?
John Hughes, yeah. And then he had some good success with the kid fare, including Home Alone, Uncle Buck, John Candy's in a lot of them.
Yeah, the Culkin days.
Yeah. And then it's clear when he doesn't put his heart into something, it really shows in the quality of the movie, as I'm learning going through his work. But without further ado, shall we get into Home Alone 2, Lost in New York?
I couldn't believe this was still on the list.
Me too.
When I picked all these other obscure things, I like talking about terrible movies and making fun of those, or seeing something that I hadn't seen before. So when I saw Home Alone 2 on the list, it was the most obvious choice.
I know.
But I tried to find something that I hadn't seen before, and it turned out I'm not allowed to see them anymore. So we finally went back to this.
And class reunion, I even got a copy at the library, and it was scratched, so I only saw part of it. So I had to glue together clips from YouTube, which there aren't very many. So to your point about physical media, but you only buy ones that you're going to love and rewatch a lot. And I do own the original Home Alone on DVD, but not Home Alone 2, but thankfully it was available to stream.
Do you remember, I'm not going to make you say how old you are, but when that came out in theaters in 1990, the original, it was such a phenomenon that they wouldn't have these megaplexes back then, in my town anyway, upstate New York. And people would have to wait in line. There's no internet to get tickets in advance. You would have to show up, wait in line, and not get in.
Oh, no.
I remember failing to see Home Alone several times before I finally got to see it.
No way.
And it was worth the wait. I will say it's an iconic movie that was lightning in a bottle. It was a sensation. It put Joe Pesci on the map. It put Macaulay Culkin on the map. Put Catherine O'Hara on the map. So big deal. So then I'm sure they were clamoring to do it all over again with Home Alone 2.
Just in time, because he's still cute and young enough for this movie, but maybe one more year and he wouldn't have been,
Then he goes into obscurity. Whatever. Richie Rich. Is that John Hughes? Richie Rich?
No.
Okay.
Not. Yeah.
I will say that I felt like in Home Alone 2, Macaulay Culkin's acting chops were plussed up. I feel like he did a good job.
That's good to hear. So yeah, you guys, this came out November 20th, 1992. It's PG. I assume the first one was PG also.
Think so.
It has a 6.9 on IMDb, which is quite high. Chris Columbus is the director here. This is one John Hughes wrote but did not direct. And Chris Columbus has stated in interviews that he considers Home Alone 2 better than the original.
I think a lot of people hold that opinion. Who did Chris Columbus direct the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
who did?
Yeah.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess maybe I'm in the minority opinion of that. After hearing that people thought that and then watching this yesterday with a critical eye of, is this better than the first one? I would say that I disagree, mainly because it suffers from remember when this happened in the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when that happened in the first? I think there's good things about it, but when you're revisiting old jokes, it's kind of an obligatory thing that has to happen in a successful sequel. And it's like, yeah, okay, I do remember that was funny in the first one, but what they do get right in this is nail it, like the breadcrumb Rube Goldberg way that they establish that this scenario could happen again to this family, that it just happens. It happens in a believable way where walking into the movie, you're like, how could this kid be left behind again, or the worst parents ever? And they figure out a way to get you on board with it.
That's a great point. I do not think this is better than the original.
Thank you.
I do not. I mean, I think there's a very few, maybe on one hand, the number of sequels that are better than the original. He definitely got paid more for this one.
It was better for Chris Columbus and Macaulay Culkin.
Yes,
yeah.
It was. So if you guys haven't seen this movie in 30-ish years, or if it's been a while, Kevin McAllister's back. But this time he's in New York City with enough cash and credit cards to turn the Big Apple into his own playground. But Kevin won't be alone for long. The notorious Wet Bandits, now they call themselves the Sticky Bandits. Harry, played by Joe Pesci, and Marv, played by Daniel Stern, still smarting from their last encounter with Kevin. They're bound for New York City, too, plotting a huge holiday heist. Kevin's ready to welcome them with another battery of booby traps the bumbling bandits will never forget. There's a lot of really heavy-handed foreshadowing. We'll get into the cast of characters, but just really quickly, we do get set up. It's like the exact same setup as the original, and I found that very comforting. The music, seeing their house, the chaos of, all of the cousins and everything. What did you think about the opening?
It's interesting that they bring, there's so many unused cast members, these cousins that seemingly could have a bigger role in this movie that are just, it's got to be the easiest gig in Hollywood, being the
Cousin A.
Like the second nephew of Kevin McAllister. I don't even know who any of them are. Like, you could not name any of those kids except Buzz and maybe Kieran Culkin. I can't even name Kieran Culkin's character, the kid that wets the bed. That's another thing. Remember, nobody wants to sleep with this kid because he wets the bed? Yes, we remember that.
Fuller,
that's
name,
right.
yeah.
Good, thank you. And it's awesome to see a baby Kieran Culkin in the movie, knowing how far he's gone on to be such a big success now. And I just watched Scott Pilgrim, and he's in that as well. Yeah. So it was fun to see that, and they give Buzz a lot of attention at the top of the film, especially when he publicly humiliates Evan, which I don't understand why Kevin is to blame at that. I mean, they do the whole sequence where Buzz does his lawyer thing and convinces everybody that he's not really the villain, and that's sort of what drives the wedge between Kevin and his family, which maybe is a weaker plot point of the movie. There was a couple of times where it was like, this is not great as far as comparing it to the first one.
They had to set up the fact that Kevin would be again, this time up in the third floor. I hate my family. I want to go on a vacation by myself. But the mom's like, because you got your wish last year, maybe you'll get your wish this year. Like it is very heavy. But then they kind of fake us out because he gets in the van. He gets to the airport.
Yeah, that's not even how he gets left behind.
So that was good. That was good. Let's talk about our cast of characters a little bit. Clearly, we have Macaulay Culkin back as Kevin. We have Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern back as Harry and Marv. And they were the wet bandits. And I don't know, why do they call themselves the sticky bandits now? Do they have tape around their hand or something? What was the deal with that?
Daniel Stern's walking around with tape on his hand. He keeps snatching hats and gloves, like petty things that are pointless. And I don't know why. They would probably just so that
it's not the same.
So it'd be easier to shoot than having to spill a bunch of water all over the set and let the production have to clean it up. The production team was like, let's not do that again. It's a disaster. And they just figured out an easier,
it was in the script,
dumb thing. Yeah. And also so that they don't, they're escaped convicts now. They don't want to leave a trail of where they are. So they change it up. Maybe that's logical, but, I got to shout out Catherine O'Hara too. She looks maybe this is the best version of Catherine O'Hara to me. She looks really good in this one, I would say.
I'm glad that you said that because she's so like fresh and young. I love her as Moira in Schitt's Creek. So that's what I think of her as now. But she's just playing like the straight mom in this, not like her other roles. Is it Christopher Guest that has like Best in Show, A Mighty Wind?
Oh yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, because she's doing a lot of character work in that, or Beetlejuice comes to mind where she's over the top. Yeah, so this is pretty straightforward for her.
And John Hurd is back, so we kind of have everybody's back, which I think is
Uncle
helpful.
Frank.
John Hurd, he's super familiar. Everybody knows him. He's Kevin's dad. He was in Big Awakenings, and then I did read that he was nominated for his guest role in The Sopranos. I had forgotten that he was a guest star playing Detective Vin Makazian in The Sopranos.
I don't remember that.
John Hurd.
Okay. Yeah, I made that connection when they go to Dunkin's, and I was reminded of FAO Schwartz and the movie Big, which features FAO Schwartz the most prominently on film. So, yeah, I had that in my notes too. But yeah, he's good. He's a very likable father figure, as opposed to Big, where he plays a heel and like some other things. I've seen where he's played a villain. He's actually pretty likable in this, doing some good work as Kevin's dad. Yeah, becomes pivotal at the airport when they actually do lose him. He's important here. And just to back all the way up to the beginning, I want to shout out the John Williams score.
Yes,
when the theme of the movie shows up and the title credits are rolling, and you see that Star Wars composer John Williams did the music for this. It really sets a nostalgic tone for me. Having watched this movie for 30 years now, that score is amazing. And John Williams' involvement in this is delightful. I'm a bit of a musician too, so I pay a lot of attention to music. And when people like Danny Elfman and Tim Burton's movies, or John Williams and even Jerry Goldsmith too, that's kind of like, I put those composers together in films that I enjoy from this era of movie making. So yeah, John Williams, killing it.
Great point. Yeah, it did its job very well. I had a comforting, like, oh, I'm at home feeling, it drew me in, that opening. Williams is regarded as one of the most influential film composers of all time and has influenced a lot of other film composers. I did read also that he was the principal conductor for the Boston Pops from 1980 to 1993. So,
okay.
Yeah. And,
that's amazing. To
your point, frequent collaborations with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. He has won, not nominations, but wins 26 Grammys, 4 Oscars, 7 BAFTAs, 3 Emmys, and 4 Golden Globes. John Williams.
Wow. Yeah. You put this soundtrack on at Christmas time, and it takes you right to a fireplace with a Christmas tree and
Mm-hmm.
everything that you want your holiday season to be can be summed up with the theme from Home Alone. It's
100%.
iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, and this movie did well. It was in such short succession to the first one. I think that it benefited from a lot of the carryover. The character playing Buzz, we talked about him in another episode of John Hughes. Was
it Home Alone 1? Because if he's been in anyone else,
yeah,
has he been in?
well, aside from that, because we haven't actually covered Home Alone 1 yet, but the actor is Devin Rattray. He played the babysitter's boyfriend in Dennis the Menace.
Oh, really?
John Hughes wrote that movie.
Okay.
And we talk about in that episode, there's several movies like Beethoven, Dennis the Menace. There's a few others that he just kind of threw a bunch of Home Alone elements in, and it just didn't work. I like it at all.
Right. This is what you were saying about he has a formula, probably. All right, we're going to take a kid that's not Macaulay Culkin and just try and make Home Alone again with Walter Matthau and a lookalike, or then Baby's Day Out is probably Lost in New York, only it's an instinct instead of Macaulay Culkin, also arguably, but definitely less successful, even though I remember that movie.
So Kieran Culkin played Fuller. He's the younger cousin. He's not Kevin's brother. He's his cousin, right? Frank's kid.
Right.
And we all now know Kieran Culkin. He was lesser known at this time. And Uncle Frank is back, played by Jerry Bamman. That's kind of hard to say for some reason. Do you know him from anything else?
No, but he plays one of the best, heels or unlikable jerks. So the cheapness, the character work that this actor is doing is fantastic.
Agreed.
In a way that you want to dislike this guy.
Agreed. Yeah, he's got that face, though. You feel like you know him from other things. I did read he was in The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. I wonder if he's also kind of a sleazy guy in that, probably. And then his wife is like this perfect, like church lady looking woman, which is kind of wild. She's not well known in this. Senta Moses, I just wanted to bring up her because she got a Young Artist nomination in this, Senta Moss, I guess. I don't know why.
Is she another cousin?
Yeah, she was.
There's far too many cousins, and they're given nothing to do. It's a bizarre.
It is. They each have 5
movie.
kids. Each brother, John Hurd and Frank, they each have 5 kids. That's a lot.
I think maybe they're there so that it's easy to lose track of Kevin.
That's a great point.
That's the only reason to have this many people doing nothing in this movie.
She plays Tracy, and she was, I don't know if you ever watched the show My So-Called Life on MTV.
Sure.
Yeah. She was Delia in 3 episodes of that. And she was really most known for the show Beekman's World, which I never saw that.
I've heard of it. I don't think I watched it. But
And Mr. Duncan is played by Eddie Bracken. Do you know him from anything else?
he looks familiar, and that's a great scene with him and Kevin at the toy store. I can't think of anything else that I've seen him in off the top of my head, though.
It is John Hughes related. That is a marker of John Hughes movies. He has his people that he likes. He played the more or less Walt Disney at Wally World in Vacation.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. That's such a short thing right at the end that now that you mention it, that's another beloved scene where he gets to play a benevolent, kind person that lets your main characters off the hook kind of role. I like that they kind of give him this magical Santa Claus vibe at the end of that scene where he gives Kevin the turtle doves, and then Kevin sees the portrait and turns around and he's gone. It's just kind of a little nod to Santa Claus or the magic of the holiday kind of thing, where that makes the movie a little more charming.
Absolutely. And that's carried over into the end when they are all in this gigantic suite at the Plaza. The family is supposed to be going to Florida, but Kevin gets on the wrong plane, goes to New York instead, and their suite ends up with a giant Christmas tree and ton of presents, and they're from Mr. Duncan. So he really did play Santa Claus.
Yeah. And there's a couple of interesting scenes in this. One of them is that scene at the toy store with Duncan, and then the other one, I'm watching it and going, why is they making such a meal out of these scenes? They go on for a long, long time. The conversation that Kevin and Duncan have, and then the conversation that Kevin and the bird lady have in the rafters of the theater about her broken heart, and Kevin trying to coach her back into society when she's a recluse that hasn't talked to anybody in 2 years. It's kind of a strange thing to insist on inserting into a movie, but I think it gives the film heart is maybe the point of these. They're trying to inject magic of the season and sympathy and let's all help each other kind of holiday vibes.
Yeah,
I think that's the point. But they go on for very long. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. There's a few that go on for a really long time. Like that one had a purpose behind it. It was the impetus of Kevin being like, oh, I'm going to save the store. That isn't soon after that conversation that he like goes and starts collecting all of his booby trap items. Then there are other scenes with Marv and Harry. All of those, like the booby traps, essentially, a lot of those go on for far too long and for no reason. And they were just, in my opinion, just kind of reusing. I really wish they would have got more creative with the booby traps, because did we get anything new, really? Yeah,
without the exception of the big hole in the floor. Like we didn't have that in Kevin's house. So that was good. And it does go to a very cartoonish level that I feel was not in the first one, even though you're watching these guys take so much abuse that a normal person would not be able to, especially the break scene in this one.
Oh my God, yeah.
Is one of those breaks and you're potentially dead, but by the time they get to the fourth one, it just gets funnier and funnier. And I'm a fan of the Three Stooges and Roadrunner cartoons, so I did like seeing a lot of this slapstick humor. But I don't know if you've seen the third Home Alone, which probably doesn't involve John Hughes and doesn't involve Macaulay Culkin, and goes all in on covering the villains in colorful crap and the hair frizzing out and turning into when Daniel Stern turns into the skeleton when he's getting electrocuted, and it becomes so much more cartoonish, is the failure of the third one. But we're not talking about the third one anyway. This second one just goes a little over the top. Right. I mean, it's already making you suspend disbelief that these guys are just cutting and running or calling an ambulance because Marv is taking a nail gun to the crotch. I would be done after that.
Yeah. At first I wondered what it was. I was like, is it staples or is it nails? Yeah.
It's fun. I love every time Joe Pesci's on screen. You gotta remember that at this time, Joe Pesci is riding the wave of Goodfellas and Casino, these Home Alone films, and the Lethal Weapon franchise. He's a megastar, and it's very apparent when you're watching him on screen. He's got just this charm that excuses all of his bad behavior.
Great way of putting it.
Yeah, I just love Joe Pesci so much, and Daniel Stern too.
I think they're a good duo. Joe Pesci has a manner of speaking that I'm all for some reason. That really New Yorky, like shady type of guy. I can't get enough of it. But yeah, Daniel Stern's really good too.
They give me some Abbott and Costello vibes. Just to finish up talking about those two. You got Daniel Stern running around like a Lou Costello, calling out for Harry the way that he would call out for Abbott. Those reminded me of when they were in the basement taking all the abuse.
That tracks.
Reminded me of, but Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman. But the Wolfman is Kevin McAllister.
So I did want to call out the Pigeon Lady. She's an Irish actress who actually won an Oscar for Best Supporting in My Left Foot.
Yeah.
Also, she was in A Time to Kill and So I Married an Axe Murderer. Her name is Brenda Fricker. And apparently that character, the Pigeon Lady, was based on the old bird woman from Mary Poppins in 1964.
I could see that. It's an interesting direction to take from the creepy shovel slayer neighbor in the first one to, and this is another trope of John Hughes. When I was saying at the top of the discussion about class warfare and poverty, there are so many instances in different movies where, particularly Curly Sue and Dutch, where you're confronted with poverty and the have-nots, and he just makes you go, you got a pretty good person in the movie theater watching this. It could be a lot worse. You'd be living in Central Park covered in bird shit. And I don't need that in a Christmas movie. It gives Kevin a reason to, it gives him something to fight for. There's the heart of the movie there, but it's, I don't know. What did you think about the character in general? I felt like if it wasn't in the movie at all, I'd be fine with it.
Well, she was clearly playing the old neighbor. There has to be someone that is misunderstood. She's the stand-in for the neighbor, right? And that person,
like a catalyst for Kevin to learn something or grow as a character.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah.
And he gives her the half of the dove, the turtle dove necklace, and like friendship, because in both, so in the original too, like he learns from the old man, and the old man learns from Kevin, and the same is true here. Like it's just the same. You had to have that character that imparts wisdom on Kevin, but then Kevin helps that person.
Yes.
Maybe.
I'll never forget you, and I'll also never see you again.
Well, so my thought on that exactly is, and I just said this in Dutch too, like maybe invite her in. He leaves his beautiful Christmas plaza to go give her the turtle dove. Maybe say, hey, come join my family celebration for Christmas. You know that guy that gave you all those presents? Maybe introduce your homeless friend to E.F. Duncan, and maybe they can hook up and she could have a better life into the movie or something. Yeah,
but
the same happened in Dutch. I'm like, oh, great. The homeless people drop you off at your mansion. Bye-bye now. Invite these people in, or at least pay for them to have another room. That was a missed opportunity. They just go back to these McAllisters are very well off. So they just go back to, I think it's a missed opportunity if Hughes is trying to show us, yes, you should be thankful for the things you have. And they do learn lessons, but it stops short of like real progress.
Right.
Don't you think?
Yes. There's a message with no call to action. Let's, at least at the end of Scrooged, where the homeless people freeze to death, at the end, they all sing together and want to put a little love in your heart. And this, it's just like, see ya, I gotta go back to my 5-star hotel and with my millionaire family, and you're not invited. Kind of shitty.
Yeah.
It's kind of shitty, perhaps.
As a kid, I was like, oh, that's nice. They're friends. But now as an adult, I'm like, help her. Do something meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give her half of a Christmas ornament. She's like, what am I supposed to do with this? I got real birds.
Yeah.
But you can't even trade this for anything.
I got to buy bird seed for them. I don't need. Well, speaking of Joe Pesci being charming in this, he was nominated for Funniest Supporting Actor in, I didn't even know these awards existed, American Comedy Awards, but they did at the time.
The other day, I won Academy Award, maybe not Academy Awards, or some kind of awards categories that recognize horror and comedy.
Yeah.
They're so overlooked and
Agreed.
underappreciated, and possibly the most cared about genres of movie that just get zero recognition. They always turn a comedy award into
Like a musical or something.
a vehicle for somebody to get that from. Remember when Johnny Depp won Best Comedy Actor for that piece of crap that he made with Angelina Jolie, The Tourist?
I don't think I've seen that movie. No.
I didn't see it either. But my point is, he was winning comedic awards for a movie that wasn't a comedy because they were just trying to figure out a way to give Johnny Depp an award. And it just makes me angry that the two genres that I care the most about get zero recognition almost constantly.
You're right.
Action too. Action. You got to die for Heath Ledger to get an Oscar for Batman. You know, he never would have won an Oscar for that role if he didn't die.
Agreed.
So
didn't they just introduce a stunt work category like just within the last couple of years?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's long overdue. Yeah. So and that's a cool category. I like that.
Yeah.
But
that gets to your action, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
The movie itself tied with Sister Act for the People's Choice Awards that year, favorite comedy. And Macaulay was nominated for the Kids' Choice Awards. And then we talked about that Senta Moses, young artist. The budget here is $28 million, and $4.5 million of that was Macaulay Culkin's salary.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was a megastar after the first one. So, and then you were talking $92, everybody, $4 million for a 9-year-old. Pretty awesome.
Great point. And I guess that was, at that time, the biggest salary ever for a child star. And this says 45 times his salary for Home Alone. So Katie sucks at math. What did he get? $100,000 for Home Alone? Is that right? 45.
Oh, I didn't know this was going to be part of the wheel.
I know. I'm like, math. I don't know. I can't do math.
Anyway, it was a lot of money.
It was a lot.
I'm trying to say. I have to make sure to bring up one of my favorite parts of the movie, which is Tim Curry.
Mm-hmm.
I love Clue and it and Legend and Oscar and obviously Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Love Tim Curry.
And just seeing him in this is one of the better parts of the movie to me. They beat up the villains that Kevin has to foil. It can't always just be Harry and Marv, I guess. So they
the whole
insert
hotel
Rob
staff.
Schneider. Yeah, Rob Schneider and the other woman played great, like cartoonishly smarmy staff of the hotel.
Wasn't she also from the Addams Family? That woman who, like, one of the front desk people. She wasn't listed.
Now that you mention it,
she looked.
I don't think she's just in that though.
I feel like she was like somebody's wife, like Cousin It's wife or something like that. And Tim Curry being on my brain. In my brain, I always confuse Tim Curry and Addams Family. What's his name? Who plays Gomez in Addams Family?
Oh, yeah.
He's passed away now. He was in
Street Fighter. He played the Bison in the Street Fighter movie. Yeah, I don't know him from a lot of things.
Raul Julia.
Ah, yes.
I don't know why in my brain I sometimes confuse Tim Curry and Raul Julia. Just me?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Raul Julia probably has a larger filmography than I'm aware of. I don't really know him from anything other than Addams Family and Street Fighter. So, but Tim Curry's more prolific, I guess.
Yeah. And he
he
plays the concierge that is very suspicious of Kevin. You guys, that's who Tim Curry plays in this.
Yeah, the cross dissolve from the Grinch to Tim Curry when the credit card comes up stolen, and when Catherine O'Hara slaps him in the face at the hotel. These are just
I forgot about that. Yeah,
some of my favorite moments in the film include Tim Curry, who is always killing it. And if we're going to talk about the hotel, we should probably bring up the Trump cameo, which has gone on to be edited out a lot of televised versions of this movie.
Is that right?
Yeah, I've seen
Okay.
cuts of this movie on Network where they just edit that straight out of the movie. But back then, it was just blink and you missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was very interesting to see him just turn up in this movie. But
Because did he
yeah,
own
it's
the
just-
hotel at that time?
That's when I was watching it last night with my wife. She said, that's weird because the Trump Hotel is not this hotel. So why is he at a hotel that's not his?
The requirement for shooting in the hotel. So he must have had some stake in the Plaza Hotel at the time.
Oh, maybe.
So they were obliged to put him in the movie if they wanted to use the hotel.
Yeah. I guess it's just an iconic New Yorker.
There's a couple other cameos. Rob Schneider is the bellboy. Did they call him Cedric instead of Cedric? Anyway.
Yeah, Cedric. Yeah. And that's another great tip of the fruit stripe gum,
Fruit
which
stripe gum. Back in the
arguably
day.
one of the shittiest candy ever created.
I don't know why I loved it though when I was a kid.
Oh, everybody likes it, and then you put it in your mouth, and it
10
doesn't
seconds.
taste like anything
Yeah.
after a grand total of 5 seconds. It's just funny that, and then because it goes from that to the comedic beat of him offering the tip that's actual money, and he thinks that he's going to get gum, so he declined it. To the
Buzz.
rule of threes. Why would Buzz give this guy that he's never met gum that as a kid, obviously older person that gets what a tip is, to pull gum out of your mouth and put it in somebody's hand? It just didn't make sense to me.
It's just Buzz is a dick. You know, he's like
That, yeah.
dickish older
But
brother.
it's funny, but it doesn't make sense.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Did you track Ali Sheedy, another John Hughes lady?
Yeah. My wife was going off about how bad her teeth were. It made me lose track. I think I was taking copious notes while I was watching this too, so I was probably writing everything that Tim Curry's ever been in when Ali Sheedy's scene came on, and I looked up and she was blonde, so it didn't register with me, but and my wife was yelling that her teeth are jacked, and I said, I think that's Ali Sheedy, but I was uncertain. So yeah, it's nice to see her.
Definitely, yeah. Ali Sheedy, ticket agent, famously in A Breakfast Club. And then Chris Columbus was a director cameo. Chris Columbus is holding a child and pointing to a stack of toys when Kevin walks through the toy store.
Right. See, that you're not Alfred Hitchcock, Christopher Columbus. People don't know that it's you.
Yeah.
You have to be recognizable for that to be charming in a movie.
True.
Yeah.
But I
Some
think-
people can pull it off.
Agreed. I do think a lot of people found this charming, and it also, I think, just coming off in short succession to the first one. The first one was a mega hit. So this one also, it made $359 million, and that's in $92. That's pretty enormous. I didn't calculate what that would be now, but
Yeah. That supersede the first one? Probably, right?
good question.
Because, like I said, the first one was a sensation. It was a mega hit. People were waiting in line to see it, me being one of them. And seeing it over and over again, people would want to go tell their parents about it and bring their parents to see it too. Bring their, everybody wanted to see it twice.
The numbers are a bit all over the place, but the first one made more money than the second one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Which,
Interesting.
that makes sense. I didn't stand in line to watch it like you did, so.
You were no loser like me.
I
You
don't
had
know.
better things to do.
I don't know what I was doing at that time. Do you think that they used New York enough? What do you think about the New York backdrop?
And that's funny. That was the very first thing I put in my notes. I thought that it is minimized for such a iconic city. They just do a montage at the top where he goes from uptown to downtown in a matter of seconds. And my question was have you been to New York?
I have.
Yeah. So you know that the way to visit New York is to pick one section that you're interested in and basically stay there. You don't want to be running all over, spending half of your time navigating the subway and getting lost in Times Square and ending up in the West Village, it's better to just go to Tribeca and spend the weekend there. And for them to just sort of be like, oh yeah, but New York City is very walkable.
You know, they do that. It almost gives me anxiety in movies like this. We saw like the Fish Market, Chinatown, Twin Towers, the Statue of Liberty. And I already was getting anxiety because I'm like, this is not an adult. This is a child trying to do this. Same thing with Ferris Bueller with Chicago, but they did it better. Like they really showcased Chicago and Ferris Bueller. And I love Chicago. But I get anxiety when they do this in movies where there's a montage of the tourist sites and it's like you see the whole city in one day. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why. It gives me like an anxious feeling. Like that's not possible. No.
Yeah. And the fact that it would have been better if it was just kept to the Central Park area, and that's overwhelming enough. And the fact that Kevin is never reduced to tears by the overwhelming, terrifying realization of being in this metropolis that's full of homeless lunatics. When he gets in the cab and the guy has the pale eye, and there's so many reasons. Because when I mentioned that I was a truck driver, and I think it was the first week that I was solo after training to drive, I had to drive to Maine, and then I had to go from Maine to Tennessee, and I did that via New York City unintentionally, and I got lost in a Class A full-size tractor trailer down in Central Park, and I was almost on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
So for Kevin to not lose his shit is a missed opportunity. I think it would make the character a little more three-dimensional than this kind of Mary Sue kid that you never think for 1 second that he's not going to be just fine, which might maybe make the character a little more relatable. But the fact that he's in New York, it's a good backdrop to do a part 2 of this type of film. That it's good for that, but I think it's underutilized in the pantheon of films that feature New York. It's been featured a lot better in other movies.
Agreed. That's a really good way of putting it. My anxiety went way down when he was then offered the opportunity he gets a limo with a cheese pizza to himself. He's drinking soda out of champagne flutes and watching The Grinch. And so he just gets toted around New York at the Plaza's expense. Now that... I was like, now that sounds like a perfect day. I would love nothing more, except for if that was real champagne, not Diet Coke.
See, that's a great point, and that's when they should have showcased New York the way that they did at the top, where he's just kind of like strolling around, and he arrives
in New York, and then all of a sudden he's here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah. If he was in the limo, then you could be like, okay, now we're all over town.
Yeah,
and that would make a lot more sense, and it's earned because of the scene where he fakes it. And that was another thing I put in my notes about Kevin has preconceived that somebody will eventually come into this room uninvited. So I need to make a marionette puppet in the shower. And thank God I have my Talkboy, which Talkboy was basically the hoverboard of this movie. Everybody wanted a Talkboy after this. And he has constructed this fake Uncle Frank to scare Tim Curry out of the room, and that justifies them giving him all these perks that we were just talking about. But that was another thing where I was just like, this doesn't make sense that he would get this bozo inflatable thing and then get the pencils so that he can control it like the first one. Why would he do that? You just put do not disturb on the door, nobody's just going to come in. So it was just a strange thing because they want to make a funny scene in a movie. I know that's why, but when you really think about it, it didn't make sense.
I know. And then that's how he used because it was the gift from his grandma, like she thought you'd be able to use this in the pool because the family's supposed to be in Florida. Speaking of which, why is this family traveling over Christmas again after what happened last year? No, stay home. You have a gorgeous house. Just stay there.
they're so sick of their awesome mansion. Yeah.
And then when
But-
they do go to Florida, the cuts to the family in Florida, I don't know if they aren't at the place they're supposed to be, but it seemed shitty. Like just like a crappy motel, which makes no sense because this family would have clearly had a nice accommodations lined up. So what's the story behind that? I mean, I know it's Florida, but
Yeah, I think that whatever, they have to change plans because they realize Kevin's missing and it's the only thing that they can find last minute. It must be the way to justify
wouldn't they have
that.
had reservations? Like the plan was to go to Florida,
Why don't they go stay
wherever they were going to stay,
wherever they were supposed to end up while they sort it out? That is interesting.
Yeah.
But I did like seeing that shitty green gremlin in the parking lot of the motel that they're in.
And it was a motel. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a cute little nod having a sequel to the sequel, a movie within a movie within a movie of the angels without soul. What was it?
Angels with dirty faces.
Angels with
even dirtier faces.
Filthier souls or something.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So, and using his Talkboys. So we get a lot of the similar beats from the first one. Like we kind of need a little bit of that, but I wanted more creativity from the pranks. I think there were some missed opportunities. There could have been a lot more that could have been done because he now has to foil the hotel people and the robbers.
Right.
And
so much of it happens the same way it happens in the first one.
In the first one,
Where he slides into the elevator between the women's legs, the way he slides through the cops' legs and on the ice rink, which makes a lot more sense than sliding on the floor of a hotel. Yeah, and a lot of it, even the pranks or the booby traps at the house, a lot are just copy pasted from the first one and not as many. I did like the toilet full of kerosene. Or when that was kind of a different, even though the walking through and in the first one, it's the blowtorch to the head. And this one, it just kind of catches his head on fire. And then he does the handstand in the toilet, which is new, like a fresher take.
That's true. That's fair.
So
fair.
It's good. It's good when they made it different and changed it up. And it's but so many people just like comfort food. It's a comfort food movie where you're seeing something that you already know that you're going to enjoy. So, and that's why they're writing it in so that you're like, oh yeah, I liked it when I saw it the first time, so I like it this time too. But
yeah, I can see that. And I did, to some degree, like even the cheese pizza all to himself. I liked a lot of the carryover. I guess I wish they would have just taken some of the stunts up a notch or maybe had a couple new really cool ones, and they didn't. But I was confused by what did the uncle's house have to do with the toy store? How was him saving the toy store? His point was with all these booby traps and getting the burglars to save the toy store, because at the end of the night, Mr. Toy Store owner Duncan is going to donate all that money to a children's charity. So they're going to the toy store to rob the toy store. Is he just trying to run the clock out by bringing them to the uncle's house? Because all of the traps were at the uncle's house.
This is a great point that hasn't occurred to me. So you're watching the gears turn in my head right now. If the third act foiling of Harry and Marv had actually been in the toy store and he was using the toys and the things in this child's playland, what better sequence would that have been if he was weaponizing the toy store?
Yeah.
That would have been such a better movie.
So much better.
I mean, it probably would have been more expensive and harder to shoot, which is probably why they just said, oh, my uncle's house is being renovated. Because I did think that was a good plot device of he ends up with the whole sequence where he gets locked in the airport, the way that they orchestrated that, it's such a kid thing to be like, oh, my toy's out of batteries. I need to address this right now. And that's how he loses track of his family. And the guy wearing the same coat as his dad, he follows that guy. They mix up he crashes into the flight attendant, the gate attendant. All the tickets go everywhere. This is a clever way to facilitate Kevin getting to New York.
Mhm.
Why is the attention that you put into justifying that not applied to the writing of the finale and the way that you and I just created a better ending for this movie? Which speaks to the shortcomings of the movie when we're arguing that it's not better than the first one.
Right. But I mean, what were we led to believe, though? What does this house have to do with anything?
It's just a venue to do the same thing from the first one.
He lures them there instead?
Oh, good, because that was my point. Like, the other thing that made the movie make a lot more sense is that he, getting the batteries for his toy, secures his dad's travel bag that has money, which Kevin will need to even get anywhere. He would just be at the airport, and then the movie would be over.
Yeah, no money.
When they were like, why? Yeah. So, and then he has the address book of where his uncle lives, and some of these other tools that allow him to find his way around New York. So that was a good thing to insert into the plot, or to facilitate the movie happening, and then just drop the ball and do the same thing all over again that he did in the first one, only in a house of an uncle that no one's ever heard of before. It's just kind of lazy.
I think he's meant to be, because they're like, oh, isn't he in Paris? Oh, yeah, but the house is being renovated. He was the uncle that they went to visit in the first movie, the family, right?
Is that it? I don't know.
This family has a lot of money, or at least two of the brothers do. Uncle Frank doesn't, but because they were going to go to Paris to visit, have Christmas with that uncle that apparently has another home in New York City. Gee, must be nice to be a McAllister, eh?
Was one of my favorite lines in the movie. That's right at the beginning when he goes to Uncle Frank. Oh, I wouldn't want to ruin your vacation, Mr. Cheapskate. Everybody's appalled, smart mouth to his dickhead uncle, who is a dickhead and deserves it.
He is. So towards the end, Buzz shows Kevin the room service bill. He's like, oh my God, you're going to be in so much trouble. It was $967, which I looked up. Today, that would be about $2,232. That's really, I honestly would have thought it'd be way higher. Or am I off on this? At the Plaza?
Yeah. $0 of that was spent on the bird lady.
Yeah. Come on, Kevin.
That's crazy. But it's like, yeah, what else are you going to do if you're a kid in a hotel room? Like, order room service. So
I guess I just...
it's an insane amount of money.
I did watch all the way through, because sometimes... So John Hughes will many times have a post-credit scene in his movies. There was not.
Like Ferris Bueller? Yeah.
Yeah, but there was not. There are a few bits of trivia here. The original working title apparently was Alone Again. What are your thoughts about that?
Not good.
Okay.
Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is better.
I'll get either way. So Home Alone 2, Alone Again, or you still need Home Alone in it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
The phone number that was given for the Plaza Hotel in the movie is an actual working number, Plaza Hotel, like whatever it was.
Good marketing for the Plaza.
Yeah. I wonder if it still is that same number. There's a swimming pool scene. So Kevin does all the things kids love to do at a hotel, including going to the pool. But I guess the Plaza doesn't have a swimming pool located on site. So that was shot at the Four Seasons in Chicago, the pool scene.
That's funny. That's interesting. Yeah.
And more about the Plaza. It still, to this day, apparently offers the Home Alone experience around Christmas, where guests can pay to stay in a room very similar to the room in which Kevin stayed, receive Home Alone gifts, including the movies, take a limousine and see some of the filming locations, including the toy store upon which Duncan's toy chest was based. Yeah.
Did that still exist? I thought FAO Schwartz was gone, unless there's a different incarnation of it.
Yeah,
now,
okay. I don't know when that tidbit was published, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be an old experience that they offered back when FAO
or maybe
was
that's
still
just
a thing.
Not part of it, but because
I did get to go.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the chance to go to FAO Schwartz?
No.
When it was still a thing?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
It was, it's something else. They watched Big and you get a really good idea of what it is. Now that we've discussed this, it's such a missed opportunity that they didn't do
The toy store.
the toy store foiling of Harry. Why wouldn't you do that? What are you thinking, Chris Columbus and John Hughes?
Yeah, you wrote it, John. Come on. Yeah, I get frustrated doing this season. I'm probably more often than not a little frustrated with John Hughes. He really hits when he hits. And I think this is a hit. Like, this is I just have fun sometimes when podcasting about a movie. I have fun poking holes in it where they are. So I don't want people to get upset with me. I do like this movie, everyone.
Yes. But it did drop the ball there. Have you ever heard of that movie? It's a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie called Skyscraper. It's kind of came out after Jumanji and San Andreas.
Okay.
And what's interesting about it is he plays a vet that is missing a leg. So his family is trapped at the top of this smart building skyscraper that has a Die Hard scenario happening in it. And the movie is called Skyscraper. The finale takes place at the top of the building. And the whole time you are expecting somebody, a villain or maybe a loved one, to get thrown off the building. And Dwayne Johnson is going to jump off the skyscraper and rescue somebody that's falling from what's being held up in the movie as the biggest building in the world. And then you get to the end and it's like a hall of mirrors finale, and nobody falls off the top of the building, and you feel like you watched this for nothing. It's a bad movie.
What a letdown.
This Toy Store finale of Home Alone 2 now is replacing the biggest missed opportunity since Skyscraper for me.
Yeah. For real, though. I guess writer and producer John Hughes, like during production of this, he was already writing script drafts for the third movie, in which he wanted Macaulay to return as a teenager. But I guess when he found out that Macaulay Culkin quit acting in 94, he had to rewrite the story with a new kid. Yeah.
For the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably for the best, too.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin went on to be a big meth head or whatever happened to him for 20 years.
I don't know, man. Tim Curry, Macaulay Culkin, and Joe Pesci, all in this movie, reportedly turned down roles in The Lion King to do this film instead. Which is weird because The Lion King didn't come out until 94.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Is voiceover work for the animated?
So. Yeah, I assume so. Yeah.
Because I don't know. Wasn't that like Matthew Broderick and
I don't know if they would have been.
Tim Curry as Scar instead of Jeremy Irons.
Maybe.
That's probably what that was going to be.
Pesci, I could have been one of the hyenas or something like I can see.
Yeah.
You know.
For Timon.
Yeah.
I know way too much about The Lion King, apparently.
It's really good. And then, you know who was missing in this movie? We had a cameo in the first movie by a very famous comedian, also frequent collaborator with John Hughes.
John Candy.
Yeah.
John Candy. Yeah.
John Candy was not in this.
Yeah. Why?
Well, the original.
It only makes sense.
I'm glad that you asked, Andy.
Did he die at this point?
No, not
yet.
Not yet. The original plan was for John Candy to make a cameo, but I guess he was bitter about how little money he received from the first film, and so he refused to do it.
You get what you're worth. John Candy's worth a lot. Make it up to him after he did you a favor with the first one.
Agreed.
It would have been awesome if it was the same character, the polka
came into
band
place
shows up and helps out in New York. That would have been great, and it would have been worth. Yeah, you don't got the money to have John Candy on set for one day. Come on.
But I guess he was just bitter because they could have given him more like posts, like after the fact, because Home Alone was such a hit, and he, however much he got paid, must not have been very much.
Like back end point. Hey,
get
a better agent, John Candy.
I know. Which is unusual because you usually don't hear about him kind of holding grudges or anything. It's usually the other way around. John Hughes is usually the one. Anyway, Andy.
I got to watch that new doc about him. It's out now. There's a new John Candy
There-
documentary.
On what? What's it on?
It might be Prime or like a Netflix, one of the big ones.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
But-
check it out. I do really like John Candy. Who doesn't?
Mhm.
I mean, he's
Right.
yeah. I mean, we could have talked for another hour about Home Alone 2, comparing
know.
it to the first one, all of it. We could have talked forever, but we have to conclude at some point. What are your closing thoughts about Home Alone 2? And then please remind us where we can find more of you.
Yes, I would love to. Closing thoughts about Home Alone 2. It's a fun movie. I was glad to have a reason to rewatch it, and we are approaching the holiday season. So oftentimes I will find myself watching the original and not so much the second one. So I was glad to revisit it. It reminded me of what a talent Joe Pesci is and how much I love Tim Curry and Catherine O'Hara. All these characters were fun to spend another 2 hours with. And even though I don't think it's as good as the first one, it doesn't really ruin the viewing experience of the second one. And like I said, there's a lot of creative ways that they revisit the formula that makes it a fun watch. So or anybody that wants to dig into a holiday movie at the holiday season, this is a very good one to add to the watch list. So please do. And then also please go to allapologiespodcast.com. Actually, I'm begging everybody to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So you can find All Apologies Podcast on YouTube and hit that subscribe button and keep up with everything that we're releasing there, including the Edgar Wright series, All the Right Moves, that Ryan Balkin is also hosting on the Director's Chair podcast network. So check that out as well.
Great.
And thanks for having me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining me to talk about this sequel and some 92 memories. So it's always fun to kind of go back in time. But that is a wrap on Home Alone 2, you guys. Lost in New York. Proof that lightning can almost strike twice, especially when you've got Tim Curry, pigeons, and a credit card with no limit. If you enjoyed this trip back to 1992, take a second to rate and review Retromade. Seriously, it does make a huge difference in helping other nostalgia nerds like us find the show. Or you can always drop me a line. You can email me. Tell me what you think about Home Alone 2 versus Home Alone, the original. Bonus points if it involves a Talkboy. But until next time, be kind, rewind.